We are amazing because our passion is limitless and our drive is intense. Therefore, you will not deny our grind. You are now listening to the Faith, Grind, and Inspire podcast. Alert.
Welcome back to another great episode of Faith, Grind, Inspire. I am your host, Gene Alert, and today we have a very special guest, Jennifer L. Williams.
The L counts.
The L counts.
It means stuff, I'm telling you. Hi, Gene. It's
What's going on?
To be here.
What's going on?
Sitting here with a mic.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
I said I'm scared.
That's just ominous. I am harmless. Radio audience, I am harmless.
Yeah. Okay.
So harmless.
All right. So Brianna's scared too. Even the camera.
The camera.
Even
the
camera was a little scared, but it's all good. But anyway, regret is worse than fear. Mm-hmm. So this episode is gonna be great.
Absolutely.
So guys, let me tell you. Okay. So Jen is an amazing person. She's actually a consultant. She runs she runs a business called J.L. Solutions. Mm-hmm. She's COO of Drive Change. Mm-hmm. She's a comic.
I'm a little funny.
She's a little funny. Yeah, she's definitely a little funny. And that's what scares me because she's really funny, and I
promise to be on my best.
And I'm trying to stay focused on business, but she's making me laugh. Anyway, she's a coach. She's great. So let's start, Jen.
Sure.
Tell the people who Jen is. Like where Jen's from.
Where is Jen from?
Yeah, where's Jen from?
Born and bred Washington D.C. Born at Howard University Hospital. HU. You know.
The real one.
Dance.
You know Jamie's gonna have a problem with that.
I mean, we all make mistakes in life. Shout out to Hampton. Love y'all. Mean it. Mwah. Just saying. Born and raised D.C. My trajectory has been a little interesting. Mm-hmm. Spent obviously all of my formative years in D.C. Got to grade school and then got to high school. I went to Duke Ellington School for the Arts. Another shameless plug. Mm-hmm. Love them. Love home. Mm-hmm. And by the time I had gotten to 11th grade, I kind of like maxed out all of my credits for the academic side. And so in DC, there's a program called High Skip. Mm-hmm. It allows you to take one college course in any of the surrounding colleges. So American, GW, Howard, whatever. I chose Howard. Mm-hmm. And Howard being Howard, they're like, you have to become a full-time freshman. Wow. So at the age of 16, I was admitted to Howard as a full-time freshman. And then I went back in the afternoons to complete my theater credits at Duke Ellington. To say that my senior year was different would be the understatement of the century. Mm-hmm. To also say that my introduction to Howard is the best accident that ever happened to me is also something that I can greatly speak to. I did not want to go to Howard. Howard was my third safety school. I erroneously thought as a woman of color, born and raised in D.C., that I wasn't going to get anything out of going to Howard University. That being surrounded by Black and brown people was only going to make my trajectory into what we call the real world that much more difficult. I couldn't have been more wrong. Howard plays such a part into the center and the creation of the woman that I am, mm-hmm. and how I approach life. The people that I've met that I still am in contact with are changing the world, are going to change the world. I went to Kim with them. Like I sat in freshman orientation with them.
Yeah.
The way that I was embraced as a young person, like I was 16 on a college campus. I was everyone's younger brother and younger sister. Nothing happened. Like they would not allow it. And they took it upon themselves, mm-hmm. to ensure that I was insulated and taken care of. That camaraderie, that care, the legacy that comes with being an HU alum, the work that you put in, the reverence that you hold for a place that's that great, that has so many greats pass through it and come back is it's so inspiring. It's unimaginable, and it's almost indescribable. And so to be able to come through that, I'm grateful. I knew that I didn't want to go to school at Howard, and I'm grateful that life was like, you got plans? That's cute. What you gonna do is. So I ended up at Howard. So again, I started at 16. I ended at 20. A week and a half before I graduated, I had a crisis. Midlife crisis, because that's what you do when you're 20, right? The world is crazy and you know everything, and the world comes crashing down around you and you got to make decisions, right? Because you're 20.
Yeah.
I say that now and I'm like, that is asinine, but you couldn't tell me that shit wasn't real because I'm 20. And I was like, if I don't leave now, I'll never leave. I'll look up and I'll be 90. And of course, you don't jump from 20 to 90. But again, in my head, I'm having a midlife crisis. You're going to let me be 90 in 3 years, right? I'm going to wake up and I have a husband and kids and it'll be good enough. And I'll live close to my mom and I'll still be in D.C. and I'll have an okay job and it'll be good enough. And I will not challenge myself. Something about my trajectory being interrupted because I knew what I wanted to do for university, and that's just not happening. And now being at this precipice of being a real adult at 20. So many quotes around that. Jesus. I instantly went into but what do I do? So Jen decides that she's going to move to New York. And Jen has a conversation with her very Latina mother. Shout out to Dr. Maxwell. Love you, Mom. And I have this conversation with my mother, who is a clinician and is very, stoic, and you make plans and you think about that. No. I was like, Ma, I have an idea. I want to move to New York. She's like, okay, well, you're going to take the summer and you'll find and I look at my mom, I'm like, your child. I'll be there next week. I found a very questionable apartment on Craigslist. This was Craigslist before they started killing people when you found stuff on it.
Yeah.
In East New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you went from D.C. to East New York.
Easy.
Jump.
From jump.
Okay.
From jump. I graduated, and 4 days later, all of my worldly possessions and 2 cans of paint were in a U-Haul van driving up here with my best friend and moving into a 1-bedroom shared kitchen bathroom situation in East New York, which was different. And I loved every second of it because it meant that I was definitely going out and doing something for myself. You know what I mean? And if I could do it all over again, I would do it the exact same way. There's something when you're motivated and you're driven and it's just inside you to do it. Fear is a powerful motivator, dear God. But I mean, channeled incorrectly, it can also cripple you. We know and we see this all the time. And people, I work with businesses and I also work independently as a coach and do a lot of other things. But I see what happens when you let fear stifle you or stymie what you want to do. It rarely turns out well. It's safe. And safe is dope if that's enough for you.
Yeah.
But getting pushed out of your comfort zone is so much more powerful.
It's so much more powerful.
And things happen. I mean, I remember moving. I'm obviously not from New York. Shocker. And I remember it was East New York. It was hood. My mother would visit me and cry, as would my now late grandmother. May she rest in peace. And she would whisper. And I joke about it all the time. She's like, Jennifer, there are drug dealers outside. And I was like, well, you whispering isn't going to change the fact that they are, Mom. But they're very sweet to me. I'll never forget it. Moving in, I obviously, one of these things is not like the other. I stick out like a sore thumb in East New York. And one of the street pharmaceutical salesmen decided to befriend me. And he was like, hi, this is my block. You're new. You hit me if anything occurs. And I'm like, this is different, but thank you. I will take that into account.
Yeah, no, you got the pass.
Street pharmaceutical man. I felt very safe.
Yeah. Once you get the green lit, the pass.
Yeah, I was like, so I'm down.
Yeah, no, you're down.
I can do things.
You're protected.
Now. I'm very protected, and I'll never forget it. There were moments where, again, young woman on her own, very first time, new city, trying to figure it out in the hood. And the train was the train, and it took forever. And this is before Brooklyn got gentrified and sexy. So cabs weren't happening. And I remember consistently taking the train, and the young street pharmaceutical salesman that I mentioned was just like, you need to call me when you're walking to and from the train. And I was like, yes, sir, I'm not going to argue with you. But I'm fine. I'm grown. Whatever. Didn't heed his warning. Took the train, came home, thought nothing of it, woke up the next day with a group, a crew, if you will, as they say in the hood, of street pharmaceutical salesmen, upset because I had not taken the time to call one of them to let them know that I needed to be walked home. it was at that point that I got a very clear understanding of community, right? It doesn't matter where you are. Community is created in the most likely and the most unlikely of situations. And I'm forever grateful for that. Like, I see East New York, people are like, yo, I was like, I never felt safer. I never felt safer. And there were individuals that took it upon themselves to ensure that I was okay.
Yeah.
And got really upset when I didn't do as if they had requested. And so it was definitely
because they would feel bad if something did happen to you.
And that would, and to know that has kind of been my trajectory in New York when it comes to, I think the older you get, the more you understand that your friends are the family that you choose. It's such a powerful thing to build discourse and create a solid community with individuals who only have your well-meaning in mind and your best self and your greatness in mind, irrespective of where you come from or who you are. And that just really stuck out to me. And so, of course, I'm in New York, need a job. So you look for one. And this is 2005.
So wait, you moved to New York without getting a job?
No, nothing. Crazy pants. I was like, if I want to
what was your mindset? Like, because
I was terrified. My mindset was terrified. My mindset was, what the hell are you doing? Like, honestly, what in all of the blue hell are you doing?
Yeah.
But the bigger voice inside of me was like, yo, don't do it and see what happens.
That's the regret worse than fear.
It's awful. And then I wouldn't have anything to fall back on. Like, I literally, it was visceral. Get out. You have to leave. If anything, because I knew that for university, I was on my way to a school in New York. I'd already been accepted. And I was like, oh, we good. I know what I'm doing. I was not doing that, though. And so the fear of being comfortable trumped everything else. And I remember explaining it to people who will now be like, oh, that's the best decision you could have ever made. Who then were like,
yeah,
what in the hell
are you doing? Yeah.
I'm like, look, I cannot explain it to you. I just know that if I sit here, it's going to be something that I look upon and wonder what if. And that is a useless feeling. I would much rather fail greatly and be like, damn, that was bad, but I did it. You know what I mean? And I committed 110% to doing whatever the hell I just did, and it didn't work out. Versus, I mean, DC to me was it was comfort because my mother was there. I knew it like the back of my hand. There was nothing new under the sun there. I was navigating it. Obviously, now DC is hella gentrified. Where isn't? But it would have been like a slow death. And I would have been fine. My God, I would have been fine. I made enough connections and I meet people and I'm slightly friendly and marginally attractive. Things happen and that's great. I would have been fine. And I knew that I would have been fine. But like that just wasn't good enough.
Good enough.
Like fine? Yeah, a decent job, like a good apartment. Like there's no challenge there. Like how am I actually pushing myself to actually attain the greatness that I say I want? If I'm just like, this is cool.
So what do you think? What steps do you think people need to take to? Because if you have this mindset that is just in you, but what do you think of people that are stuck in where they are and they listening to this interview right now and they're just like, damn, I want that. I want to travel to New York, but I don't know I don't know how to get out my own way. And then something that you did say was you said you had to explain to a bunch of people around you. Now, what if those people talked you out of it, but not you? I'm just saying, but that's what's going on with other people. So, there's tons of people out there right now saying, I want to move to Texas, and someone's like, no, you can't do it.
Oh, yeah.
And then as soon as the first person says it, because that's actually what they want to hear. They want someone to tell them, like, they go to people to actually help them, talk them out of making the decision. That happens a lot.
Absolutely.
You really want to do something, but you're like, you know what? If 3 people that are close to me tell me no.
The easiest way to not do something is talk about it. We've had that conversation. The easiest way to not do something is to talk about it with people. It's twofold. The best advice I could ever give. And I will own the fact that was a crazy as fuck decision. It's crazy. It doesn't make sense, right? But so many things can go wrong when the things that you do make sense. You can plan everything and think about every worst case scenario and assure yourself that your plan B has a plan B and fail spectacularly.
Absolutely.
And all you have done is given yourself a blueprint of how in the hell you failed so big, right? Which, again, you learn from, and I think that that's super important. The best that peer pressure don't work on me.
Peer pressure doesn't work on you.
Peer pressure doesn't work on me, and it never has.
Yeah.
Which is not to say that I'm not methodical and thoughtful. I'm an HR practitioner by trade, and I coach others. If I were reckless, this would be a completely different conversation, right? I'm not, but I also know that I'm so moved by an understanding, and I think partially because it's the way I was raised, but partially because, I mean, a lot of this is Howard. I can attribute this to Howard. Your greatness means nothing if you're not giving it away. It means absolutely nothing if you're not giving it away. It's bigger than sending the elevator back down. It's standing on that elevator and helping explain certain things to people on their way up. Because people did that for me. And I think that builds a foundation to be able to do things that don't make sense. It made sense to me. Yeah. The only person that I had to be comfortable with was myself. And also, full disclosure, mommy is mommy, daddy is daddy. I do this for myself. And I won't ask my parents for any. I'm a grown woman. This is my decision. I made New York my decision. This is for me.
Yeah, I heard you say that a few times.
Yeah, but this is mine. Yeah. This is me carving my lane, my path. It doesn't have to make sense to you. But I also say that full stop, knowing that if this exploded in my face, I have home, right? I have a mother and a father. And I also understand that people who don't have that, it's a very real thing to not have anything to fall back on. But I say that the reward is that much greater. You try, because if you don't, like what good are you with the ideas in your head that you're not spitting out? What good are you if you have something in your heart that you just have to do? I had to. New York, I had to. DC was going to end me slowly in the worst way possible, in like this air of mediocrity. And it would have been dope. And everyone was like, yeah, you're great. That's dope. And who knows the possibilities that would have opened up in DC.
Yeah.
But it would have been safe. Yeah. And safe was like death. I can't explain it any better than that. And again, with a financial crisis, with a lot of different things that are going on right now that have a level of instability that are inside of people that create discord and fear, with all of that, I would do it all over again. Because I feel that passionate for it. Like literally my 4-year-old that's inside of me is like, hey, what are we doing now? That people try so passionately to quell because you're older and you're an adult. I listen to my inner child. Like I have a tattoo of her on my inside of my forearm. You honor every part of you, or you wither. The internal flame that's inside of you goes away, and nothing good happens when that happens. Nothing. I mean, which is also why it's funny because we're having this conversation. Being an entrepreneur, terrifying. What the hell? No, absolutely. No. And we've also had this conversation about, charting your own path and your own course. Spirit of full disclosure. I like jobs. I like a paycheck. I love a 9-to-5. I love health insurance. I love knowing what's happening in 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, direct deposit. Can't tell me nothing. I'm balling until I'm not. And then it happens again, like the whole direct deposit dance. Y'all know the dance. Direct deposit. Like that level of comfort for me is also how I was raised. To know me is to know that I'll make crazy decisions, but I'm like, I know that Aetna is in my back pocket if I do something unspeakably foul. Like Aetna be like, I'm put a Band-Aid on it. Like health insurance is a big deal. You get older and you're like, my knee hurts. And it's like, you should go see somebody. And you're like, but I got Aetna, I can. Or I got like Blue Cross Blue Shield, whoever you have, that you can't tell me nothing, right? Yeah. Like stretch, pop, ooh, let me see a doctor. That safety and security is something that's very real to me. And so this entrepreneurial path, and I attribute a lot of it to you, Jane. We've had conversations about essentially owning your unknown, what it means to be someone that charts their own course. And I see you, and to me, you are the consummate entrepreneur.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, but like I also feel like that's something that's been in you, right? And you know, like I see you and like the Gary V's. Shout out to Dawn Dixon, my girl. Shout out to Angel Rich. Like these are people that are in my orbit that I watch as entrepreneurs. That I'm like, wow, it's been in you to be like you've had this drive, you've had this vision. It's not really how it started with me. And so the path to entrepreneurship, it has nothing to do with age and everything to do with spirit. It kind of felt like I was phoning it in because it isn't something that I've always wanted to do.
Got it.
And I wonder how many people that stops. You know what I mean? Like, it's less about the whole, I'm 20, I'm going to take over the world. I'm going to now be mini Zuckerberg, and now like I have this empire. Like it has very little to do with that. I mean the drive and the verve and the spirit within you to say, I see things differently, which I do, but I'm going to do something about seeing things differently. I never did. I was like, that's not what we do. I got like side stuff, and people are like, you should do this. And I'm like, okay, you cute. But this job though, I'm gonna do that because that's nice. They give me things.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks. Dear God. Like direct deposit dance. Y'all thought it was only happening one time. It's happening twice. Direct deposit. It's that comfort. You know what I mean? But at the same time, it's also knowing that one, you don't have to go all in, and we've had that conversation too. I very much respect the people who sell the car and live in the garage and like crash on the couches because like they got this dream, and I'm bourgeois as hell. That's not happening. I need my own bed. I need like hot water and like very nice soaps. I need them. Okay. I need a level of comfort to do what it is that I am unapologetic about it. Like I like things. I like to be able to pay for things. I only eat ramen because I want to. Like it is not one of those, hey, ramen noodles because I got to. It's like, are we going to the nice ramen place today? That'd be nice. Let's do that. And you know, and I fight all the time. Discomfort doesn't make you a good entrepreneur. And I think that this narrative is a really damaging one.
Yeah, you have to. if your mind isn't clear, it's not going to work.
No matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what. I mean, and it's the same issue that I have. And again, there is something to be said for diligence and grit. Okay? There are people that create greatness from nothing. They exist and they surround us, and they're the stories that we tell, right? But for every story that we tell, there are 10 others that we're not telling that didn't make it or feel inferior or didn't necessarily do it in a way that felt authentic or gave everything and it didn't work. You know what I mean?
So why do you think some people go all in and make it, and other people go all in, or in their mind, they think they go all in and don't make it?
I mean, well,
like, you know, I've been hearing, I was listening to a podcast today, and the lady said, you know, luck. And for me, I don't believe in the word luck. And I think that you create, like, because I believe in God, I can't believe in luck, right? So I think that as long God creates the path for you, God spoke to you and told you, yo, you coming to New York, there's something, and it's drawing you. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what it is, but it's just like the universe is like pulling you to a direction.
Yeah.
I don't think it was luck that I met you. I don't either. It's just what happens. It's like, you're going to the shoot today. Hadia's like, I need ACA to film this thing for me.
Right.
Brianna is filming. You show up. I had no idea who was on the docket.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now we start talking.
Right.
Who knew? Like, it would have. You see what I'm saying?
This.
And you exchange business cards with people all the time. Yeah. You just never know. But to me, I don't think that was lucky. You know what I mean? Like, I just think that when you do the work, when you put in enough time and effort, and just the universe starts opening doors for you. And it's just up to you to know, like, because you know your purpose and you're following your purpose, you know, walk through that damn door.
See,
You know what I mean?
I feel you. I feel you, but I agree to disagree because I think purpose is big. Right?
Yeah.
Purpose is big and purpose scares people.
Yeah, it does scare people.
And I think that also there are a lot of people that aren't walking in their purpose.
Mm-hmm.
They're walking in their proposed purpose.
Mm,
And I think that's really serious. Like
that's scary.
it's frightening.
Yeah.
I think at the core of what drives me, my 6-word bio, it's on my website as well. Like what fuels everything that I do until the time my feet hit the ground, until the time that I lay down. Being of service. Committed to being of service always. That is my 6-word bio. I live by that. I love to help.
Yes.
I love to connect. I love to do. I love to fix. I love to help. But that fuels everything that I do. It makes it that much easier to make decisions because if I'm doing something, I'm not being helpful. It's not for me, and I know it.
Exactly.
I'm literally out of alignment to that point where some people succeed and some people don't. It's funny. I'm very spiritual, not so much religious. But my belief in the ability to manifest and how there are no mistakes and there are no accidents, things occur, and you create your reality. You literally are in creation of what has happened to you, well or bad or good or wrong. Like you create that.
Mm-hmm.
In that same space, understanding, I believe, that a lot of individuals who wish to make it and do not make it don't really want to. And that's controversial.
No, but that's I agree with you.
You know,
I think that's the truth.
But I also feel like if you
Some
talk to
people are
who
scared.
failed, fear will
Some people are
cripple-
scared of success.
Yeah, it's real.
I've seen
It's
people
real.
have opportunity
and
and
squander them.
they just said, "Oh no." And they walk away.
And I think to that point, along with being able to squander success, the narrative of victimhood is a real one.
Oh yeah.
You get so much mileage out of they were mean to me or I can't do this because or they said.
They said.
Like you get so much
Yeah.
mileage out of it because as soon as you say it, someone will always jump to your defense. How dare they say that? They wrong. They so mean. Da 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 da. But like, there's community in victimhood too. The same way that there is community in elevation and there's community in greatness. Your vibe certainly attracts your tribe. I wholeheartedly believe, especially at this phase of my life, knowing what I know and doing what I've done and being at this place where I'm now a small business owner. A small business owner.
Congratulations.
Thank you. If it weren't for the people around me that saw more in me than I did, there's no way in God's green earth I'd be here. There's just no way. I am grateful every day for Hadia, like snatching me up and being like, "You're playing small, so that's cute, but no."
Yeah.
So what are you doing? I'm grateful to you for being very open and honest with me. This is what you want? All right, let's grind. Okay, you're serious. That's dope. Let's do this. I'm grateful for the women and the men in my lives who are accountability partners that will not allow me to play small. I can't fail. It has nothing to do with the people around me. It has everything to do with the narrative that's in here that gets supported by the individuals that I surround myself with out there. They won't let me fail. It's in here. It all starts here. You can have a cacophony of people telling you, like, you're great. If you don't feel it, it's useless.
Yeah. No, you have to feel it.
You have to feel it.
You have to feel it more than other people.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, because sometimes if other people are telling you, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do this, but then all of a sudden, like you don't move because you don't want to take action.
Right.
It's not going to work.
Right. No,
you know what I'm saying? Like there was episode 36.
Okay.
Jermaine Miller, he was on the show. He said, what people do is they take a seed, they plant a seed,
right,
and they put the water on it. The plant doesn't grow. So what they do is, but that was like a year. They take the seed and they move it and they plant it somewhere else. And then 5 months later, they take it and but if they only gave it one more month
to just
leave it, just sit, they would have realized that the seed would have opened up and the plant would have came out.
I mean, what's the meme now? Life is hard, but remember for a fruit tree, the last thing to flower is the fruit, or the last thing to bloom is the fruit. I was like, I like this meme. This makes me happy, but it's very true.
It's true.
I mean, and to that end too, I also think that part of the reason why people fail is twofold. One, faith without works is dead. You can want a bunch of stuff. Like, make no mistake. I work hard. You see me late nights, early mornings. You up, I'm up. You sleep, I'm sleep. You'd be like, Jen, I didn't expect you to be up. I got stuff to do. Like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You'd be like, it's 3 a.m. I was like, it's 3 a.m. I got shit to do. It's 10 at night. I grind.
Yeah. I send text messages to certain people.
Yeah.
And I don't expect, I send late texts because I'm up.
Yeah.
You know, so I send it because I want to be the first text you get in the morning. To handle my business.
Yeah. No.
So when the person writes me back.
Yeah. I remember you're like, you're up? It's 2:30. I was like, yeah, I'm grinding. I got shit to do.
I'm like,
you up? You grinding? Like, I'm in good company. If you're up and I'm up, this is what, you know what I mean? But like,
and sometimes, you know what? I get tested. Some people will, I'll have a conversation with them at 2:30 in the morning, and then they'll write me at like 6:45 in the morning, and I'll write them back like, yeah, what's up?
What's up? Yep. We doing this or not?
I was like, I just came back from a 2-mile run. They're like,
doing?
whoa.
Like I was asleep. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for real.
It's the work. You know what I mean? Like, I am.
So you said faith grind.
Faith grind.
I like it.
Faith without works is dead. And that is a Bible verse for whom I cannot tell you where it came from, but I know it's from the Bible. Shout out to Jesus. She's a good one. But I think that's so true. I also think that in this land of comparativity, I'm making up words. Comparativity, new one. Thank you, Merriam-Webster. Made by Jim. Comparativity. I essentially think of social media, and not to demonize it, but there are 11 U's on social media. 15, 36, 111. There are a lot of Gene Alerts out there. There are a lot of y'all, right? But they're not you. One, because they're standing in their own heads thinking that they can't do it because it's already been done. And two, they're hating on the fact that you're already doing it. I call it the Cardi B effect. I adore Cardi B because she's brash and ridiculous and so passionate about the things that she thinks about and the things that she cares about. I think it's dope. I also know people in the same camp who are like, yo, I rap better than her. I know 10 people who are doper than her. I'm like, and I'm sure you do. There are 157 gajillion Cardi B's out there. You know what makes them different? Cardi looked at it and was like, fuck it. This is what I'm doing. And I so appreciate that verve and that vigor. But for every one Cardi, there are 157,000 naysayers who are like, I could do it better. Stop talking about it then. Like, especially when I started my consultancy business. So, J.L. Solution, what do? We do coaching. Yeah. May I speak to John? Gene is a client. Also the president and also the client. Wave, Gene. Hello. So I do personal development coaching and work. I also do a lot of diversity, equity, inclusion, and intersectionality work. You know how many DEI companies are out there? Like, it's a buzzword. In the age of Me Too, everyone wants to not act offensively and do something dumb. Everyone wants to ensure that they're crossing their T's and dotting their I's for whatever reason, right? There are a lot of them out there. I could have looked at that landscape and been like, well, there's no possible way. You don't need one more. Yes, you do. Because I am amazing and dope. And the way that I look at things, irrespective of what you think you're supposed to be looking at, is different. And so you need my approach. That's what makes me different. That's what makes my company different. That's what makes my viewpoint different. Because it's me. Like, can't no one tell me I'm not awesome. You can try, but you won't get very far. Like, you can't. You cannot. And it's not cockiness at all. I very much have this inherent belief in myself that if I work hard enough and I align myself with what it is that I want, I'm going to get it.
It all starts here.
It all starts here. It's all here. It's all here. You create your reality. You create that shit. You do.
So you believe in the secret.
Bruh. Do I? Shout out to Esther and Jerry Hicks. I need everyone, and I've had this conversation with you. If you are not familiar with Esther and Jerry Hicks, I gotta whisper it because it's like spiritual and like woo-woo. Hey, y'all. The Vortex is one of the most powerful things that I've ever read and ever listened to. Don Dixon who is the CEO and creator of Popcom Sass and Flat Out of Heels. Shameless plug. She's amazing and melanated and dope, and I'm grateful to be in the same orbit as her and call her a friend. Told me one day after having a conversation, like, make no mistake, I'm confident, but like life happens and it can throw you off your game. I'm scared a lot. Shocker. It happens. Scared a lot all the time. Don't know what the hell I'm doing a lot all the time. Do it anyway though. Having a conversation with her about being at a crossroads and trying to understand what fuels her as an entrepreneur to keep doing it. I'm like, because it seems like owning your own thing and being in this uncharted territory is akin to like a slow water torture death. Like the highs are hella high and the lows are like, why in the hell am I doing this? And this is before I decided to jump into the fray and be like, you know what? I can be a reluctant entrepreneur. It's okay. And it can still work. And she told me, she's like, I need you to listen to this. And specifically, she's like, I need you to listen. You're just going to sit here and you're going to listen. And the lessons that are contained within, the ownership that you can take of your personhood, irrespective of what's happening to you, irrespective of what's happening around you. Taking responsibility for your part in how you live life is one of the most powerful and life-changing narratives ever. And that is what I gleaned from that. Like you play a part in everything, in every relationship. You played a part in it. And every failed business attempt, you played a part in it. For every good thing that happened, you played a part in it. For every bad thing. There is nothing that happens independent of you that has nothing to do with you, that has something to do with you. You play a part in that. And accountability is rough. What do you mean I'm responsible for this? I wouldn't ask for this bad thing to happen. I would never put myself in a position. If you really look at it, if you really assess yourself, if you really, give it some thought, you play more of a part in the life that you're living than you might want to admit you do. And I think that's powerful.
That is powerful.
Losing scares me more than trying. And I think that is the one thing I can say that I share with dear friends that I know that are entrepreneurs, as well as individuals who are just like, go for it. Because the rest, entrepreneurship is terrifying. Why in the blue hell would I? And it's also the understanding that being an entrepreneur doesn't mean throwing it all away and starting from scratch. You don't have to do that.
No.
For the longest time, that's what it meant to me, though, which is why it's so powerful being in your orbit. It's so powerful knowing the Dons and the Angels and the Hadias of the world, to know that that isn't what it has to be. Entrepreneurship doesn't have to look one way.
No, it doesn't.
But far too often, all you see are the Steve Jobses or the Amazons or I had $17 and a granddaddy who gave me $150 and now I have a multi-billion-dollar empire. Like, it's not really, because there's so many different things that could go wrong there. Like, you could have $117 and nothing. It's frightening. So you're just the safety and security of knowing that you can, one of my favorite memes, you can start late, be unprepared, run slower than everybody else, and still win.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's the story of Gene.
But people don't see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I see the shiny suit. You know what I'm saying? And like the fly business cards. Y'all, I have a thing for business cards.
I don't have no shiny suits.
But like shiny like dope, not shiny like Diddy. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very nice suit, sir. That is a very high quality thread count.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hugo Boss.
Yeah,
Black
this is Hugo.
It's nice, is what I am saying. You know what I'm like? They see the business cards. They see the work that you do within the community. They see the businesses.
But they don't understand 19 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the thing is, like, I knew that I was going to get here back then.
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That is what I'm saying. That motivation and that headspace, that clarity, I never possessed that. I knew that whatever I did, I was going to be dope at it. I have a work ethic that won't allow me to not.
Exactly.
I might not be the best Clearly I am. But I might not be the best, but you're not going to outwork me.
Yes. That's how I feel.
That's just never going to happen.
That's how I feel.
You won't outwork me ever. And that has its drawbacks as well, especially when you're not working on your own stuff. But at the same time, looking at the successes, it makes it very easy. One, to think that the losses, and I put losses in quotes, right? Because you're Jen, you can't have losses. You do this.
I have losses all the time.
We are at a radio station with real mics and like camera. And like, who loses? Not Jen. How?
Right?
You know.
You
but like
funny.
but I'm saying, but like you're in a space now as an entrepreneur, as an established entity and brand. You can take your L's in private, and no one would know. I respect you so much. I respect the transparency of the people that are around me that are entrepreneurs. Because they take their L's and they talk about them.
Absolutely.
None of you guys have to do that.
Yeah.
You can keep the facade alive, dear God.
Yeah.
Like you grind and you hustle and it's hard.
But you know what? I growing up, well, not even growing up. I think it's more growing up. You see people. I had a lot of entrepreneurs around me, and I saw wins, losses. I saw guys who I saw it all. But there was no social media really to like document it.
Right.
So because I saw a balance of everything, it was easy for me to like, oh, okay, this is reality.
That one.
Yeah. Like, okay, I won't make that mistake. But now with social media, the constant throughout all these episodes has always been like, because I'm really harping on it. It's just like, I don't want people. That's why I started this podcast. I don't want people to see just one way, like just the success of people. Every entrepreneur is not driving a Lamborghini. Every entrepreneur is not.
Some of them are driving cameras.
A lot of entrepreneurs are not just delegating everything to everybody. They're not running multi-million-dollar restaurants. They're working in their restaurants. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that they're bad entrepreneurs. It's just that it's just not clicking for them yet.
Right.
Or they didn't find great help yet. Or they don't have the time to, I don't know, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's just that the look on entrepreneurs, they need to hear. So now they need people like me. They need people who are going to tell them, look, didn't work. Right. Today was a fucked up day.
Right.
Like, this week was terrible. You see what I'm saying? Like, but next week, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't get this account. But you know what? Today, I got this account. You know what I mean? Like,
look at what happens. And to that point, I would say, and that's where, from the consultative coaching portion of what I do, that's where I come in. Losses that aren't fully thought through create the kind of fear that paralyzes people. You know, I think far too often, you are your habits.
You are your habits.
Full stop.
Yeah.
You are your habits. You are the things that you do. You are the things that you surround yourself by. You are the things that you eat. You are the gyms that you are your habits, essentially. And the hardest thing to do is be your habits, have something happen that's not what you wanted, and then look really hard at what you've done to contribute to that. You are your habits. It's talking about your habits, and it's not necessary. So I also think that people give coaching a bad rap. It's not about changing you at all. It's about giving you a different perspective to then be able to elevate yourself out of the things that you used to do. And by all means, do what you want. It is the beauty of coaching. I tell you things all the time. Be like, Jen's out her damn mind. All right, that's cool. Or you could think about what I said and come back to me and be like, you know, the thing you said that I thought was crazy might not be so crazy. Okay. I tell people all the time, coaching isn't for everyone. Everyone can't be coached.
But you should be open to it.
Boom. No, you shouldn't be.
You shouldn't be open to it?
You should be open to making yourself better.
Yeah, better. Exactly.
That's it. That's all. If you, as an individual, no matter what it is that you're striving for, are open to making yourself better, which you should want to be, or else you're stagnant. And that's just comfortable for some people. Far be it for me to tell you that, and I don't even want to call it mediocrity because then that's looking down on someone, that what you're doing and what you have, if that is in part and parcel, your head, what you want, and that's all you want, who am I to tell you that there's better out there. How dare I? How presumptive of that is that of me to say to you? But I also know that the nature of the beast is usually if you get something, you want something else. Like millionaires don't stop like, all right, I made $1 million. We good.
No.
Let's roll out.
Yeah.
I can't possibly make any more. Why would I need 2 million? Why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Why stop?
Why stop? And I feel like this is like human nature. Why stop? So if you want better for yourself, you get tools
Yeah.
that aid and assist you in sharpening what you already have. The
Yeah.
existing you that's there.
Reverend Run said, I can't help anybody if I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you can't. You can't.
But you can't.
But you can't.
You can. I'm sorry.
You know?
There are a lot of very broke, very brilliant people,
Yeah. And
they broke,
yeah. And
and their brilliance just kind of gets quieted.
Yeah.
Along with the fact that it's easy to dismiss individuals when you don't see this. Although, for all, and we've had this conversation about social as well. Social is your highlight reel. I show you what I want you to see.
Mm-hmm.
It is the funhouse mirrors of our generation. And you can shape them however you want them to. And you can make them as big or as little as you want. And even when you're being candid, your candor is couched in, how do I want this to look? You know? Which is why it's so inspiring, one, to be in a space where I feel pretty good about what I've been able to accomplish. And I just started. You know what I mean? I've just begun to like really scratch the surface of what greatness means to me. And being to impact everyone that I want to be able to impact, and being to work with whomever I want to work with, and being able to give back and literally, you know, send the elevator back and like uplift and aid and assist and do and help and help and help. I've literally only scratched the surface.
Yeah. And talk about scratching the surface, right? Something that you've done recently is ACA water.
You got to whisper it. You drinking Fiji, you're drinking the wrong water.
So the you actually just
I drink it
started
like Trump. Did you see it with the little hands?
with the little hands. Oh God! So you actually started going into the comedy space.
I did.
Yeah. So talk to me about that.
So I'm funny, apparently, right?
you are.
I say things and I have friends who laugh at me who are like, I cannot believe you just said that dumb shit. And I said it all the time, I'm grateful for friends because I don't know why I have them. I am foolish. I say the things and I don't know where they come from and it works out. Comedy on a stage with a mic in front of people was always one of those places. I was like, I know my friends tell me I'm funny, but like, how many of y'all are laughing because I'm funny and how many of y'all are laughing because y'all are my friends? Like, you know your friends will support you. Be like, yeah, but woo, all right. Like a mom will support you. That's my baby. Ooh, ain't gonna work out, but I love my baby. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so comedy, one, was terrifying. So if we're having a narrative of things that scare me and then things that I do, let's like check off things. New York, terrifying, had to do it. Comedy, terrified me, had to do it. Apparently fear is a hella great motivator for me. That we're going to unpack that. But ensuring that, my God, I'm actually thinking about it. One, I've been funny for a very long time. I just got into comedy. And I did it. I found a comedy course, Laughing Buddha. Shout out to Laughing Buddha. Shout out to Kevin. And I decided that if I was going to do something, I literally had to be the one to get out of my own way. My narrative was, why hasn't anyone discovered me yet? It's always my narrative. I'm funny as hell. I say things everywhere. Why hasn't someone leaned over while I'm eating French toast and been like, you? That's exactly what I was like. It doesn't. Where am I? Why is this not happening for me? Like, I'm Disney Channel cute. I'm about to not be able to play a high schooler in like a couple of years. So y'all need to find me now. Like, I don't know why I'm always eating French toast when people find me, but like, you need to find me eating French toast out with friends.
I guess you like French toast.
I really do like French toast. Carbs, they're so dope. But like, I need you to find me. I need to be discovered. Like this whole discovery thing. Like you're just minding your business, buying shoes, and boom, now you're a superstar. Like it was not happening for me, and I was annoyed. Yeah. So I was like, I'm funny enough. And then again, the effect of seeing individuals who I deem not as funny doing really well. And just being like, that's it? Like, y'all are now I'm offended. Because I know I'm better than you. I won't name names because it's not important. It's just that feeling of seeing something and you're like, that is mediocrity on toast. And y'all are really giving this shine right now. Like, y'all are laughing. Like, y'all are repeating these jokes. Like, this shit is in your heart. Mm-hmm. You really?
Really?
That? Ew. So that bothered me.
Uh-huh.
And finally, and I'll be honest.
So does that affect you when you go back on the stage or like thinking?
Oh man, being on stage is like nothing I can ever describe.
Mm-hmm.
I told you the first time I did it, it was like sucking helium out of a balloon. And I was like, oh, this is why people do this.
Oh, it's a drug.
For 5 minutes, you are a captive audience. And I say things, and if I say things well enough, you laugh at me. Bruh. Like there's absolutely nothing like that feeling.
Yeah.
And you build rapport and community, and you do it quickly because you only have 5 minutes when you're doing stand-up sets. You type 5. But it's twofold. It's one, everything in me, and I attribute it. It's fear. Out of fear comes purpose, right? Mm-hmm. I knew that moving to New York was a crazy as hell decision without having a safety net and having things figured out. So I overcompensated by being a workaholic. Mm. Boom. Mm-hmm. What can I control? My output, my work.
Exactly.
Okay. And I feel like my creativity suffered because I told myself, this is my decision, but being an adult means you do adult things. You pay your bills, right? You handle your business. You go to work. You make sure that you can depend on yourself. You handle everything that you need to. You're not asking your parents for money. Like, you are doing you as an adult. And you don't get a cookie for doing adult things. Like, you're a grown-up. Be a grown-up. Congrats. You win. Whatever. But I feel like I went so hard in that space. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to work. There was no time for frivolous things like creative. Does that pay bills? Okay, is me being funny and creative gonna pay my Aetna? You know, how's that gonna work? And just finally getting to a place where now I feel like I'm grown up. Like and the work side of me that does so much to make other businesses money, to make other businesses viable, to make things flourish, to make really sound and robust people-centric policies and metrics for other people, other organizations. How am I not investing that into myself? And what kind of regret will I have if I continued along that path of one, thinking erroneously that I'll always have time to do it, and then telling myself that it's too late to do it? Because that's another thing that we do. Oh, I'm not, that's what you do when you're 20. You're too old now. You can't do it. And then there's always tomorrow. I can always do it tomorrow. Those don't live in the same space.
They don't live in the same space.
They fight each other.
Yeah.
And so literally it was just like, Jen, you got one or two choices. You do this because it's in you, or you stop talking about it. And I did it. And I got up. And people who weren't my friends laughed at me. And I was like, when I'm actually funny. I didn't pay y'all to laugh at me. Y'all laughed because I was funny. Gotcha. And so now, grateful. There's a mini webisode series in the works.
Nice.
Lovely to be working with ACA to get it there. Shout out to Brianna for being an accountability partner. A lot more stand up in the works. It's inspiring to see. I don't know if you saw Amanda Seals' stand up over the weekend. We're, as Black and brown people, as women of color, specifically as Black women, are still making strides. Mm-hmm. She is the second Black woman in history to have a comedy special on HBO.
And you want to know something?
In 2019, we're still talking about firsts and seconds.
Yes. Yo, but so crazy. I'm so proud of her. She came to my she used to come to our ACA parties.
That's dope.
and she used to come to the 40/40. Shout out to
Gene
Amanda.
knows everybody. Gene absolutely knows everybody. I'd be like, yo.
Shout out to Mark and Maine. Because they introduced me to everybody.
You know, I bought a pack of paper towels. You know that man that makes those paper towels? I know him. He came to an ACA bar. I packaged his paper towels. I'd be like, Judge, this isn't a competition. I just wipe my hands. Why you know everybody? But he does.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gene. You are the plug. You are the plug.
I do know a lot of people.
You are the plug. I had to like ask her everything. I don't know, like who does X with Y? Be like, I got you, Jen. I'm gonna connect you.
Yo, you know what? As funny as you are, something, you know, when something goes wrong in, like when you're the person that people go to, right?
Yeah.
All the time, it's hard for someone like me to talk to anybody else, right? Mm-hmm. So I appreciate the fact that I could talk to you, and our conversations aren't usually like funny. I mean, it's funny, but it's not funny. But you help me get out the way, like of where I'm the space that I'm at. Mm-hmm. And something that you said to me, which was really cool, and it changed everything. Was
I be changing lives, y'all.
You be changing lives. Yeah, but this actually made me better, you know, because my love language in business and in my personal life is acts of service. Mm-hmm. So I will go above and beyond. So everyone that works for me or worked for me knows that Gene is the person that says, under promise, over deliver.
And I always argue with that.
And when he says over deliver, to him, it's like over deliver, mm-hmm. right? So I have to like jump over 3 buildings to give you the package 4 days before you're expecting it.
With a bow on it.
And a thank you card handwritten. You know what I'm saying? Like
with the deep signature, with the good pen.
Yeah, with the embossed like stamp. Like it just
in an envelope.
Like, you know what I mean? So with a pen.
And a spare t-shirt on the side because you was thinking about it.
Yeah. So and a thank you video.
Yo, all that.
And a DM.
That is in and you can stream it and send it to friends.
Exactly. So like that's Gene, right? But then I kill myself, and then you said something like this to me. You were like, the reason why you get upset or something, or you know, you're not like it's messing with you, mm-hmm. is because they never asked you to do that.
Yep.
And you're waiting because what happens is sometimes I have clients who are like, oh my God, I love it. Mm-hmm. And the beginning of my book says, always do right. This will gratify some and astonish the rest. Mm-hmm. And this is with me. This is me.
That is your life. It's you.
So this is me. But sometimes the people who I astonish, there's so many of those people that I think I'm going to astonish everybody. And so when I don't astonish everybody, mm-hmm. it messes with me. You know what I mean? Until you said that. And when you said that to me, I started like looking at it different. And I said, wait, you know what? I'm not going to make those moves I'm not going to do all of that because you know what? They didn't ask for it. And if I do it, it's because I want to do it.
And there it is. There's a difference between doing things because it's expected and doing things because you want to. Mm-hmm. You will kill yourself. You will literally kill yourself thinking that people have the same heart as you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That people have the same expectations as you. It's very real. It's very real.
Yeah, that example that you showed me about, what was it? It was, you showed me a space, and you said everybody operates in this space.
Oh yeah.
And you operate
a big sheet of paper, right? If you are the sheet of paper, you're a person, you're a sheet of paper, right? Generally speaking, people tend to put themselves first. Mm-hmm. It's human nature. If it feels good, I'll do it. If it doesn't feel good, I won't do it. If I have to do it, I will. I'm talking about work and jobs that people complain about, or responsibilities that people have to take on, or. You're this piece of paper. The little dots, that's just, things that move around your orbit. But ultimately, you, yourself, what you want, this piece of paper. This is how you move. Gene, you're different. Your piece of paper is very small, but your dots, your acts of service, how you operate and how you feel you have to operate to present yourself as your best self to the world is inverted a little bit. And there's nothing that says you have to deplete yourself to be able to provide the best service to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's a martyr.
Mm-hmm.
Martyrs die.
Yeah.
And I mean, God bless you for being the best martyr, but now you're dead.
Exactly.
How is that really?
And a dead martyr is not going to.
A dead martyr gets written about in books, and
Exactly.
we might remember them.
Yeah.
But,
and it's not going to do anything for my son, my wife, my family. So, nope.
Nothing. But a live, whole person that is mindful.
Yeah.
That doing enough and then pushing yourself to go above and beyond because there's something within you that says that you need to do that, as opposed to pushing yourself to go above and beyond because you are expecting that someone expects that from you. That feels different.
It does feel different.
How that feels matters.
Mm-hmm.
How things feel to you matters. Inside of you is your internal GPS system. Your emotions and your feelings are guiding you. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
If it feels bad, you should probably reassess what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If it feels good, keep doing it. Unless you're doing wrong shit, then don't do that or don't get caught. One of those.
So, Jen, thank you so much. Like, you see, this is why I wanted people to see this side of you and see all the sides of you, because you're just a wonderful person, and your energy's always like.
I didn't pay him to say that.
No, you didn't. Your energy's always on 1,000, and I love it because my energy's on 1,000. So the listeners are probably like, yeah, Gene didn't even really talk much. But,
I talked a lot. I do.
But no, but you know what? This is what
I be talking.
This is what I like. I like having a conversation, but also I like people telling their stories and their truths because it's going to help someone else.
Yeah.
You heard my truth 40 episodes, you know what I'm saying? Like, so for you, it's just sharing that outside experience. Like, I don't know how it feels to move from state to state. You see what I'm saying? Like, it scares me to leave New York. You know what I mean? Like, me and my wife, we own a property in Florida. I can only be there for 5 days. I can't, and I have to come back.
Yeah.
This, to me, I can't move to Florida. I can't move to Georgia. I can't do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, is anything pulling me down there? No. No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Everything's pulling me because I'm not finished with the kids in New York yet. My mission is to make the kids in New York great.
Yep.
Because New York is pushing these kids out. And I need to make sure that they become great entrepreneurs so they can live here.
And
you know what I mean?
They have an example that looks like you.
They could see an example. And there's plenty of examples. I'm not the only entrepreneur. That's,
clearly.
No. So, but I want them to see other entrepreneurs like myself, other entrepreneurs like you, that we're here. And it's not just football player. You don't have to be Cardi B. You don't have to be Jordan or LeBron. You don't have to be like whoever the rappers are these days. You know what I mean?
Little baby Uzi something.
Yeah, little this and little that, or you know what I mean? 6ix9ine or whatever. NBA,
so Young Boy Radio.
You could be you, and you could be great.
Yes.
And follow your vision. Follow your vision. Follow your vision. Follow your vision. You see what I'm saying? And whatever it is that you're like for example, Brianna. Brianna loves videography. Loves it. And so this is what she breathes, eats.
Yes.
Like, this is her. That's why me and her are partners. Because that's who I... Yeah, shout out to Brianna. Shout out to Bree.
Whoop, whoop.
A Blast Films.
A Blast Films.
Right?
Get into it.
So, but that's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I want that example. I want to show people that. And so I'm grateful for you. And I'm grateful for all of you guys who tune in every Wednesday to the Faith Grind Inspired podcast. I want you guys to share this episode.
Please.
Tell people where they can find you. What's your website?
The website is thejlsolution.com.
That's
what I paid. Go Daddy. Thank you for the domain.
Yeah.
On Insta, I am Jennifer Lelle Jennifer L 101, because I'm taking you to school. You see what I did there? I'm foolish. You like it? Same on Twitter. Jennifer L 101 on Twitter. I
can't imagine the stuff you be saying on Twitter.
I don't though.
Oh, you don't?
I leave all of my insane things for Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Which means I need to tweet more. I say things, y'all, sometimes. But no, to have this outlet, to be able to speak openly and honestly and candidly about both successes and failures and struggles is powerful. And I'm grateful to you and to the vision that encompasses the Faith Grind Inspire podcast for this.
Yeah.
It's so powerful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh.
And you gave me a mic.
You said I gave you the mic.
Gave me a mic. There's a mic. Got to talk in it.
Yeah,
it's little things. It's little things that make me happy. But no, this is amazing. Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
So shout out to our producers, Tim, Jamie, Brianna,
Bree, A-Blast Films.
Shout out to all the OG Podcast Network. Shout out to ACA.
This is my hype, man.
Yeah. I like this. I can get used to this. Shout out to all the people who follow us on YouTube, Spotify.
Spotify followers, Stitcher.
Who else?
iTunes.
She said iTunes. Google Plays. Yeah.
You on it? We in there.
Spotify. All of that.
Thank you for paying your $9.99 a month.
Yeah.
If you on the Spotify.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So we'll catch me every Wednesday, and tell a friend to tell a friend. Keep grinding. Matter of fact, I need to ask you one last question. I'm sorry. What word out of Faith Grind Inspire really resonates with you, and why?
Wow. I feel like the easy answer would be grind, but no, I'd say inspire. The word inspire resonates with me specifically because you can find inspiration in some of the most non-linear, unexpected places ever. And I think that's what makes it so powerful. Inspiration looks different to everyone. If I am a poet, I could see a pen and a piece of paper, and like that could suddenly make an amazing piece happen. If I am a photographer, I can see with my eye something that people walk by every day, and it could be the most amazing picture that was ever taken. Inspiration is very personal. And I think that that's what makes it so powerful.
Yes.
You make inspiration your own, and you make it mean what you want it to and what you need it to. And so many great things can come out of that. So definitely inspire.
I love it.
I'm smart sometimes, y'all. I say the things. I read books.
Shout out to Jen. So thank you once again, guys. So Faith Grind Inspire, check us out. Send us an email. Send us some questions. And we'll catch you next week. Peace.